Merry Christmas from the Media Committee. As the semester comes to a close, we want to do a crazy Christmas video. To celebrate, we took a little bit of inspiration from Jimmy Fallon and played a wild game of truths, lies, and crazy Christmas confessions.
The game starts with teachers telling us their craziest Xmas stories, but there's a plot twist. They can lie.
Then, a teacher of their choosing will figure out whether it's a truth or a lie.
After making their guess, teachers will then have to share their own Christmas experience. This continues again and again, creating their own fun little teacher train with Mr. Eric, Mr. Christian, Pat Rene, Miss Jess, and even Nedra on board.
Choo choo! Without further ado,
Let's get started!
Mr. Eric, what's the best/craziest Christmas experience you've ever had?
This is a great question. I've had many great experiences and one really crazy Christmas experience that I want to share. So the year was 2010, December, probably the week before Christmas, so December 20-ish. My wife and I were newly married. We had just gotten married about 6 months ago in June, and we lived in South Dakota. If you don't know South Dakota, in the winter, South Dakota is very, very snowy, like piles and piles and piles of snow. The roads are usually pretty good because they have snow plows and they do the salt and everything. But after a heavy snow, it takes them a little bit while to clear the roads and make them drivable again. So Amanda and I, her family lived in South Dakota, so we were near her family, but we wanted to get home for Christmas to my family, which was in Seattle area. All right, and so if you know US geography, South Dakota, kind of in the Midwest, and Seattle is on the West Coast. So we would have to drive or fly or take a bus or find some transportation to get us through South Dakota, Montana, Idaho, and then on to Washington State. We had a small Honda Civic. If you don't know what a Honda Civic is, we only owned one car. We didn't have a lot of money at that point. So a Honda Civic, I don't know if you can see this, that is about what a Honda Civic looked like. It's a very small car. They don't handle themselves very well in the snow, but we're like, hey, God is on our side. We can do this. We'll drive. We'll just drive. No worries. So the roads were very, very bad this particular day that we decided to take off on our journey. This is not an actual picture, but that's an example of what the roads look like. So we're driving and it's snowy, the snow is coming down, the roads are very slippery, so we're slip sliding all over the place, but we're like, we'll be home for Christmas, you can count on us, right? So we're making our way through Montana, which is also very snowy. We are beside a semi-truck, okay? A big, like you call them an 18-wheeler on the toll road in Jakarta, you know, the big trucks that are carrying water, aqua, or whatever. And so our small car is right beside this huge truck, okay? Well, we hit a patch of ice. And if you've ever driven on ice, which hopefully you haven't, but if you have, you lose full control. Like your car is just doing whatever it wants to do. You don't have any control over where the car goes. So we start to spin. And as we're spinning, we start moving to the right toward this semi-truck that's right beside us. Our car is small enough to go directly underneath the semi-truck and end up on the other side. We keep spinning and then all of a sudden we're facing forward again and we just keep driving. So something similar to, I don't know if you can see this picture. This is not an actual picture of us, but if you can see this car, it's kind of an example of what happened to us. So we're going the exact same speed as a semi-truck. We think our lives are over, we're spinning. We just go right underneath the truck, end up on the other side. Our hearts are racing. I'm not sure if we're like alive or dead. And all of a sudden our car is just going again, the truck's still driving again, and we made it safely through Montana, through Idaho, into Washington, all the way to Seattle. And it could have been the end of us. I could have not been here to tell this story. It could have easily, if we were going a little bit faster, a little bit slower, could have hit the wheels, then then it's over, right? But just perfect timing. God's angels were there to protect us, guided our car right underneath that semi-truck onto the other side of the road, and then we just kept on going along our merry way. We made it home for Christmas.
Wow. Wow, that's an amazing story. Mr. Eric, who would you like to direct
It's true.
All right, so I shared that's definitely not my best Christmas experience. It's probably my worst Christmas experience, but it is a crazy Christmas experience. I'm gonna send this over to Mr. Christian. Mr. Christian, it's coming over to you.
Thanks, Eric. I'm so confused. I thought maybe, the whole time I thought it was totally a lie. Got a lot of extra details in there, which I think you're adding. But I'm gonna say it's true. I'm going for true. That sounds, you invoked God's angels there, and I don't think you'd do that unless you were telling the truth, and I believe it. So I'll say it's true. That seems wild. Yeah.
So what's your story?
Okay, so this is the story of the best Christmas dinner I've ever had. And this story, like Mr. Eric's, also takes place strangely in Montana. I'm from Chicago, and every Christmas, Christmas dinner is a big thing in America where you have all sorts of lovely food and you'll have family there. But this one Christmas, I must have been in junior high, so grade 9 or 10 or something like that, and my mom had taken a temporary position to work in a town called Bozeman in the state of Montana. And now Bozeman, Montana is in the northern part of the United States, as Mr. Eric drove through, lots of snow. And so my mom had taken this temporary job working in Bozeman at the airport. And so we were gonna go out to Bozeman, Montana to celebrate Christmas in this beautiful, snowy wilderness. And so we fly, my brother, my dad, and I, we fly out to Montana, and we got delayed, or all these things happened, and we were couldn't get there on time, and we ended up getting into Bozeman at quite late. And we had flown, I think we flew out even on like Christmas Day. And so we had these plans when we landed, we were gonna get in and kind of go to the store and, buy all this food and then cook it and prepare and have, maybe not like a grand Christmas dinner, but at least, a modest, but time together. But by the time we got there, everything was closed. And so we didn't have anything to eat. And so we were driving around looking like, what can we get? And the only thing we were able to find in this small little town was this tiny gas station. And so it was like, well, what are we gonna do? This is like our Christmas dinner. And we're at this dirty, kind of small little greasy gas station. And what we ended up doing for our Christmas dinner was we bought microwave burritos and put them in this dirty, old, greasy, crummy little microwave. And had Snickers bars and soda, and that was our Christmas dinner at like midnight, it was maybe 11 o'clock at night on Christmas Day. And at the time, we were all so bummed. It was like, this is our Christmas dinner. We're eating at this gas station in the middle of nowhere. But it ended up being this really great time of remembering that Christmas isn't about great food. It's not about doing this. It's about being together, and even if you're eating really terrible microwave burritos in a rundown gas station in Montana, it can still be great. So that's my Christmas story. Yeah.
So who would you like to direct this to?
I'm gonna go to my man, Rene.
Hey, my man, they call me my man. I cannot believe he called me my man.
All right.
I think it's a lie, or is it truth?
It's very heartwarming, so it must be very true. Like, being with your family like that, in a far away and in the middle of nowhere, gas station, Christmas. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing the truth.
So, Rene, what's your crazy Christmas experience?
Crazy Christmas experience. I was like in junior school. It's kind of like sad, so it's nothing joyful like that. So I come from Manado. In Manado, like everybody's kind of like a Christian, so we kind of like celebrate Christmas and all that. And we have a Santa Claus like visiting. So Santa Claus that your parents actually pay for the gift, and then they hire the guy who dress up like Santa. But I don't know about your culture, but in my culture we have Santa Claus, and then also a Zwarte Piet. It's someone who dressed like very dark, like with a black. I mean, maybe it's Dutch, Zwarte Piet. So Zwarte Piet's job is to like chase the bad boy, and the Santa Claus will reward the good boy, the good guy. So me as a kid, we always afraid of Zwarte Piet. Like we like Santa, but and then behind Santa there will be like 2 or 2 or 3 men dressed like this Zwarte Piet with very dark makeup and all that, right? And try to scare us like, oh! Also, we're very terrified of the Zwarte Piet. And then when I know that Santa's gonna visit my house, then I refuse to go out to meet Santa, and because I'm afraid of Zwarte Piet. And my dad, in frustration, because I believe that later on when I grow up, I know that he bought the gift and pay all these people. Very disappointed because I don't want to go out the house and meet the Santa Claus and Zwarte Piet. So my dad kind of like, how should I put this? Take out his belt and like hit me like in the butt. Like, but hey, that doesn't give me trauma or something. I love my dad. He known no better way of educating children, right? So physical punishment and all that. So hit me like I don't remember how many times, like bang, 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 like oh, like that. Okay. So yeah, that's my sad Christmas story. So I didn't meet the Zwarte Piet and Santa Claus. I get smacked, but I still get the gift. So at the end, that tears and that red mark on my part of the body soon will disappear, and I'll be happy again. So that's kind of like sad, but yeah, that's my Christmas story. And I dedicate this. Should I dedicate or what?
Yes, direct it to the
Or
next
directed,
teacher.
not dedicated.
And you can point.
So I'm gonna do a ping pong, 3rd floor and 4th floor ping pong. So this is a question to me. So I'm ping pong back to Miss Jess. It's your turn, Miss Jess.
Rene, I'm really sorry about your Christmas story. It made me sad, but I somehow think it's the truth.
Miss Jess, what's your crazy Christmas experience?
My crazy Christmas experience. Okay, so every year, everyone in the family has to cook something for Christmas Day. And this was about 3-4 years ago. I can't cook to save my life. I can burn water. So, but for some reason, I got given the duty of cooking the chickens for Christmas Day. We don't have turkey, we have chicken. So I was like, okay, and my mom had helped me like marinate the chickens, and it was all good. And she said, and she had to go out and do something else, and she said, Jess, just make sure you put it in the oven so it comes out in an hour. Can do that. She showed me like how to turn the oven on, because I didn't know how to turn the oven on. So anyway, I turned the oven on, but I realized I had turned it to the wrong setting. I had put it onto the, well, I didn't realize it's time, but I put it onto like the fan setting, so it looked and sounded on. Put the timer on for an hour. All the guests started to arrive because the chicken needed to come out warm. And so I went to check the chicken like 15 minutes before it was supposed to come out, and I realized nothing had cooked. So I was like, oh my gosh, basically kill me now. So I was thinking to myself, what can I do? So we have really famous, I don't know if you've heard about it, but Nando's. So Nando's chicken. So I was like, okay, perfect. I'm gonna go quickly run to Nando's. So I told my sister, I was like, stall, just tell them I had to go fetch something. So I got in the car, I went to Nando's and I bought chicken, and I came home and I cut it, and Nando's chicken is like, anyway, so got the Nando's chicken, carved it, like put it on the dish that I was supposed to put it on, like presented it. Now every year since then I have the chicken job because everyone loves my chicken. Yet it's not my chicken. So that's my Christmas story, and no one knows, so God forbid my mom hears the story. Or my
Till now?
my
They don't
sister,
know.
no one knows. No one knows. Only my sister. So now every time I get Nando's chicken.
Who would you like to direct this to next?
I would love to direct this to Nedra.
True.
Why do you say it's true?
Because I can imagine that Miss Jess is doing that. I guess that kind of mistake, and it is very natural for someone who never cooked before and not really enjoying cook to do some mistake like that. And I guess I do imagine like I think Miss Jess really did it. Yeah.
So what's your own crazy Christmas experience?
I'll check out this story from Ibu Nedra and see if she's telling the truth. I'm really good at reading people.
Okay, I like to hunt for my Christmas story is not long, by the way. Okay, I like to hunt a secondhand like fashion piece. And for Christmas, I want to buy a Christmas sweater. I found this one is pretty nice. It looks cute for Christmas. The color is red. It has the like a red deers on it, and so yeah, I wear it. That was like kind of like the few times I went to this church with my husband church. At that time it was like my boyfriend. He's my boyfriend, and I'm trying to look good, right? Because you know we just date, like just date, but you know starting to get serious. We're trying to get a good impression and stuff. And at that time, actually, the brother's wife wearing the same sweater. I feel bad. Because like for some people it is it's just like completely okay to have, you know, twins, but then I barely know her, you know, and we get like a same sweater like a twins. But yeah, so and you know what happens with that sweater? I never wore it again. It doesn't and I give it to Miss Hannah, because when she go home to Korea, she doesn't have any like warm sweater for her, so yeah, I gave it to her, and now Miss Hannah has that sweater.
It's a good story. There's some detail in there. There's a little hesitation, I felt like, so I'm kind of on the fence here, but I think it's a believable story for Ibu Nedra to wear the same sweater as her now husband, back then boyfriend's sister. I don't know that she would give that sweatshirt away and never wear it again, but I'm trying to read her eyes, read her facial expression. I'm gonna say that was true. I'm gonna say that's a true story. She did buy the sweater secondhand, she wore it. She was twinning, unbeknownst to her, with the sister of the then boyfriend, now husband, and she gave that sweater away to Miss Hannah, who's now in Korea. So I'm gonna say, or not now in Korea, but you know, went back to Korea. I'm gonna say this is a true story. Aha! It's a lie. I don't know if you got it right or not, Mr. Christian, but it is indeed a lie. Based on a true story, very loosely based. We did travel home that Christmas. We did make it home for Christmas. The roads were very snowy. We did slip and slide some, but we never actually slipped underneath a semi-truck and made it safely onto the other side. That part was made up.
Rene, I don't know if you got it right or not, but that is a true story. That is our gas station Christmas dinner.
I know you, my man.
A fond one. I'll buy you a burrito next time I see you in Bozeman.
I win. Why? I win. Jess, if you listen to the story, I don't know what you guess. I think the answer is, the story is true.
Yeah, I got it right.
That's sad that it is. It's true.
I'm sorry. Pardon me. I would have even able to guess mine.
Story a lie or true?
It's the truth. So I'm lying to my family, but it's the truth.
It is a lie.
Oh!
It is a
No!
lie because actually I'm not matching with my sister-in-law. I'm matching with a random motorbike driver. When we got home from the church and started like my husband, hey,
So it's mostly
that guy,
true.
that motorbike driver has the same sweater as you. I was like, what? And yes, I wear that sweater again a couple of times, but now yes, Miss Hannah has it. That's for her, and I think she looks so cute with that sweater. Did the driver look at you as well? No, because he was like kind of in front, you know. So he would look at me, and it was at night, so it's not really that visible. Yeah, but it's it's a really cute sweater. I hope that Miss Hannah wear it sometimes so that you know people know. Oh, so that sweater that even is talking about, you know. Yeah.
You fooled me. Fool me once, blame on me. Fool me twice, blame on. Oh no, it's that back. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So I won't let you fool me again, Ibu Nedra. You're very convincing. Just trying to read your eyes, your facial expression. You got me good. Sounds like parts of the story were true, but not completely true. So I think that brings us to the end of this chain true or false. Guess if it's true or false. Thanks for watching, everybody.